Okay, let's do it.
This meeting is being recorded.
Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. What is this when you are tuning in to Chance of a Lifetime Coaching? I am Carolyn Jones with Conversations with Carolyn, and I am so elated today to have a very prolific person here and to introduce to the world today. She may be a familiar face to some, may be an introductory face to others, but I am very glad to present to many of you today Lele the Painter. Lele is a non-traditional Buddhist. She is an intuitive painter, and she is a Reiki master and a spiritual teacher on a journey to help others through mindful conversations while using paint to help alleviate suffering. So glad to have you here today, Lele. Welcome to Conversations with Carolyn. How are you today?
I'm good. Well, thank you for having me. This is so cool. This is really our first connection, and we're doing it from the now. How beautiful is that? So I'm good. I'm excited.
I love it. I love you. I can share with you that I'm on a mindfulness journey, and I have a mindfulness journal. One of my greatest authors in the mindfulness journey is Corinne Sweet. And being in the now is so rewarding because when you're in the now, you don't have to worry about masks, you don't have to worry about pretensions. But the main thing is being intentional, and something you said earlier about just showing up, showing up. So tell us, Lele, tell us, who are you? What is it that you want the audience to know who Lele is?
That's a big question. Who am I? I have no idea who I am. Look, so I know that I am a human being on earth doing the best that I can. So with that, I am. It's really hard for me to do labels. So labels like, okay, I'm this and I'm that, and this is who I am. Yeah. I don't like to be in that box or that thing I feel confined. I want to be free to say, I don't know who I am, and every day it can change a little bit. So I am radically myself right here. So this is me right now. This is me. So I know that's a different type of answer, but that's my answer.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. Absolutely a great answer. And it's a great answer because coming into the knowing of who you are authentically is the person that you can actually present to the world. And when you are not that person, when you're not actually kind of tuned in to your inner self, you're giving off a projection of who you are. And you give out a projection of what's expected of you, your work, whether it's a work, career, whatever, but you're not giving off totally as to who you are. So you've told us who you say that you are, and you're like, hey, I'm finding out every day. And I really like that because one of my greatest affirmations is creating yourself today for the future you want in tomorrow. And so I love it. I absolutely love it. So I see the paintings around you. So tell us about how is it that you evolved into becoming Lele the Painter?
Okay, well, Lele was born Elisha, right? So I had a whole life. So my whole life happened. We're born, we're a baby, we go out, we be in the world, we have life happen. So my intuitive painting is, people were like, oh, it's so beautiful and it's so fun. And I'm like, man, I've really been going through some feelings to paint those to go. I went through a healing through painting. So I was a part of different spiritual groups, doing different meditation classes. There's a woman, her name is Tina Kirkham, that I will definitely give a shout out to. Excuse a train, it's going to be going by in the background, but she saw something in my painting when we looked at it. She's like, oh, this looks like this and that. And she said, I think that you're an intuitive painter. And I was like, intuitive painter, what's that? You know? And I also followed my intuition to share that painting with her. She had an event And I remember I put it by the door and I said, I'm gonna show her. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. You know how you brave and you're not, and you brave and you're not. So I was going back and forth and I saw it and I said, I'm bringing it. And I was the last person at her class. It's like 2 a.m. And I had it in the trunk of my car and I was about to leave. And I said, go get that painting, go get it. So I went, I was brave, that little bit of brave changed to, then I started doing sessions with people. And then I paint live sometimes. And we just paint and see things in the painting, and it's about perception and it keeps evolving. And Lele the Painter, that is, people will be like, hey, are you Lele the Painter? So it kind of just became a little catchy and I was like, yeah, that's me. So I said, all right, Lele the Painter. Like, so that's me on all social media, is Lele the Painter.
Great, great. So I heard you mention that you were able to receive your healing through painting. Talk about that healing.
Okay, so you know how you have those moments where you don't necessarily want to be vulnerable and just crying and just being the victim or whatever. Art was my escape. Like that became a thing. Like there were moments, you know, I'd be crying and I'm wiping my eyes, and after I got paint on my face, and you know, and I'm looking. And before I met Tina, I did see stuff in my paintings. I just I didn't realize it. But I'm like, oh man, that kind of looks like a priest, or that looks like an angel, or you know, it was like already opening up because I was just feeling and creating from that space of right here. That was just it. But I was going through some stuff. I won't say that it, and sometimes it was just fun, you know, like I did some I do events and like I work with other people, but it always goes deep. Like no matter how I try to show up, it ends up being deep. And I'm like, okay, that's just my mission. Like there's no getting around it. There's going to be some feelings coming up. So it's just an energy that moves through art. And it helped me. So, and it helps me. I'm not saying I'm done with it. It still helps me. So.
Wonderful. You know, I'm hearing that you came through your healing and you had perhaps some dark moments. Mm-hmm. If someone's listening right now, what would you say some dark moments could be that painting or some form of art could perhaps help them?
I think that the most important thing is not even necessarily the art. It's recognizing that the feeling is going to change. Every feeling we've ever felt has changed. So I can be happy and I'll be sad, and then I'll be mad, and then I'll be this. It's always going to change. So if you're at your darkest and you're at your lowest, that means it's going to change. If you are already at the bottom, then see how I'm under the screen, then there's no other place but to come back up and come back up again. So just remembering it's going to shift. It will change.
Wonderful. What about people that are at the top that think they have it all? I'm here. Oh. I've met my plateau. Mm-hmm. I am it. What would you say to that person?
Well, I would say, I know that everyone has that moment by themselves. So I'm more interested in that self that you are when you are alone. There's no clothes, there's no shopping, there's no money. It's me. I'm going to bed. It's my own thoughts. Like that person is who I would be most interested in. It doesn't matter how much money you have, you still have feelings. So when you're in that space, are you doing anything with that? Are you just, you know, are you running away from it? Are you ignoring it and just planning what you're going to buy? Or are you shopping online real quick, you know, to avoid the feeling that's coming up? So those people, I would say it's time to look at that part of self. You know, why am I shopping so much? Why am I overspending? Why do I care about what I look like or what I mean, we want to know what I smell on stink, you know, but like, you know, why is it so, why am I so wrapped up in it? And why do I think that's what my happiness is? Because that changes too. All of it changes.
Yes. Everything changes. And that's a very pivotal point to make, that everything has a shift. Mm-hmm. Everything has a shift. And it's just being able to appropriate that shift mm-hmm. where it needs to go as your energy directs it. And I think being led by our own energies is very, very important. And so, Lele, if you could tell us, you talked about how you came into the art of painting. Tell us a little bit about your background. where you come from.
Where do
I
I
know you're in
come
Pennsylvania
from?
now. So
Yes.
talk to us. What?
Okay, so I was born in West Helena, Arkansas. My parents were super duper young. So my mom was what 18, my dad's probably 17 or 17 and 16 is one of those. My dad is he was the youngest. So I was born by Southern parents and my dad went to military. So I am a Southern military brat. So I moved after my first year in Arkansas. So I moved everywhere. I've lived in many states. I've went to maybe 13 schools. Like I've had a lot of changes in my life. So yeah, I mean, that's the, and then I moved in between. So when I lived in Utah, that would have been like after high school. And like when painting happened, that's when I lived in Tennessee and I was at the end of high school. So I mean, now I'm in Pennsylvania. It's even getting attached to places is very complicated for me because the more I practice or the more I get into my practice, I'm really like, well, I am sitting in Pennsylvania, but that's a big, huge state, right? So then I said, well, I'm actually really just sitting in my chair in my studio, talking to Carolyn here, just having a, I don't know, it's really interesting. I go time travel, I'm like, oh, my parents, that's a thought. Like, where's that? And then there's all the other thoughts that come up in between. Then I start thinking, what's my mom doing? Or like, and I'm supposed to be right here.
Wonderful.
So.
But that's the great thing about owning up to our transit of where we go in life. We transit in so many different areas, and sometimes our mind goes a little bit faster than our bodies actually go. And so it's just a balancing of the two. And so I think that's awesome to just hear you say that. And I would like to just put a kudos pin in this. I am an Arkansan, and Lele and I, as she said, this is our first time actually really meeting, but we are really cousins by way of my grandmother and your grandmother. So it's amazing to see generations down the line, and we come together under a great focal point talking about mindfulness. So that's just absolutely awesome.
Right. You
so,
be like, that's
Lele,
my cousin. Like we are cousins. We're like, we're just gonna go on here and just do it. Let's see how here we are. Right.
No, I know, there is someone who said once, well, you don't really need to, when you have your relatives and really say, okay, that's my this, that's my that. It's not as professional. It's just your subject or your whatever. And I do agree with that part of the professionalism, but I have come into my own, and I am like this because this is my platform. This is what God has given me. And I am very, very proud of every part of the branches that fall from the root that's rooted way down.
And let me say something real quick. Can I say something to that? Why do people keep putting their opinions on what works for them on you? So like, why would you tell me that I can't announce that this is my family member because of professionalism? Now I can understand, like, let's say I am Will Smith. Okay, I'm Will Smith and I make all this money. I can't tell that everybody that's my cousin because you're gonna be bugging them and doing. But right now,
right.
And I'm not judging anyone that has an opinion, so, I'm not trying to say anything bad, but I'm just like, why put that belief in my head? But with mindfulness and the mindfulness practice, you get to listen to everyone say what they have to say. You get to bow to it, and then you get to do your part and do what works for you. Yeah, this is your platform. And so is every moment in front of you. It's not even just when I am here, I get to be myself. And if I cannot be myself, I cannot be here. That's all I can't be here. Okay.
Absolutely.
And then we bow out, we say, thank you. And I see all the light in you, and I bless, and I'm sending all blessings your way. Thank you so much. And then we move on.
Absolutely. I am very mindful of something my mom taught me years and years and years ago. And I say this often as I give much accolades to my mom, who was my very first best friend. But she told me, she said, everybody is not going to agree with you. You're not going to get everyone's approval. You're not going to even get everyone's respect. But what you learn to you take what resonates with you. If it works for you, let it work for you. If it
Right.
doesn't, let it fall down your back like water. And
Hmm.
I've learned to appreciate that analogy, because if it doesn't resonate with me, I let it fall down in the like. And when you shower, that water goes down the drain. That
Hmm.
water doesn't come back up unless you have a faulty
Right.
plumbing situation. But
Mhm.
it goes down. And I look at everything in life that I don't agree with, that does not resonate with me. Okay, it's going down the drain like water. It's dirt. It's
Right.
trash. It's no use for me,
It's
and
going
it's
through the
not coming
filter.
up again.
Just went through the filter. Hmm.
There you go. Absolutely, absolutely.
Filter. I
With
love
that
that.
being said, Lily, what does your work aim to say? What is it about your work that means that is so impactful that you would like for everyone to know?
Oh man, that's an interesting. What do I think is so impactful about my own work? Okay, so then that is
Yeah, what does your work say? Yeah.
I think it is when it comes to intuitive painting, the ability for people to see their own perspective without anyone being right or anyone being wrong. So when that aha comes up, I
Oh,
think that
right.
that is pretty impactful. Like, oh, okay. And then you find,
Yeah.
oh, I'm trying to make a thing out of it, but I can't because Lily said that's not how this painting works. It don't work like that. There's no judgments here. You can't do that here. Look, or you can, but it still don't work like that. It still don't work.
Right. One thing I've learned about mindfulness too is that it works in that down to where there's no criticism, there's no judgment. And when you said that, that did resonate with me, because being being there means that you have that opportunity to come full throttle with everything that's on the inside of you. And so I think being able to do that
Mhm.
is why you have so much pride in the work that you do.
Mhm. I believe that could, yeah, that sounds about right. Mhm. Okay. I think it's a good time for you to paint,
Awesome.
though. I think it's a good time. I'm feeling like we should bring that canvas closer.
Please, let's do this.
Right. And
Let's
I can
do
paint
this.
as
All
we
right.
talk too. So let's give me one moment.
Sure.
So,
So this is a good opportunity that everyone can just truly take a great breath. Breathe in right now for everybody that's listening. I want you to be able to breathe in, and I want you to breathe out. I want you to relax so that you can truly be able to appreciate what Lily the Painter is about to give to us. All right.
and I like that breathing in, breathing out. Taking a moment to connect
Yes.
with my breath so I can feel myself. Most times we're
Yes.
breathing, thinking it's only to keep us alive, but it's also to recognize, oh, I'm here and I'm a human and I need air and I need to breathe. I need to connect with myself and I'm okay. Like my breath is a reminder I'm okay. Ooh, look at me, I'm okay. You really
Yes.
be breathing like, like you get all, sometimes you got to breathe hard and ugly until you calm down and get back in
Absolutely.
that flow. That's fine.
Mhm.
Like that's your breath. You get to breathe how you want. Those are your own.
Absolutely.
I'm not in control of that, but I would say breathing is a beautiful thing. Okay. So I'm using a black canvas today. I thought that would be cool. Change it up from what I usually do.
Okay.
All right.
And once again, everyone that's maybe just tuning in or joining us tonight, this is Lele the Painter. She is an intuitive painter. She resides in Pennsylvania. And so we are allowing her artistic energies to flow right through us tonight. And let's be mindful, let's be intentional, and take it away, Lele. Keep on talking to us.
All right. So right now it's more about the feeling. So they say, well, you're painting with your fingers. Yes, I like the way the paint feels. I like the energy going of myself connecting with the paint, connecting with the art, connecting with the space. And then I might fall quiet, and don't let the quiet make it uncomfortable. If it's uncomfortable, then just breathe more. That's why and why does this feel uncomfortable? Why do I have to say something? Like, why does it have to be nonstop when I am in a room, or if I'm in the elevator? Like,
Mhm.
why is there an anxiety to say something? The red represents grounding. So sometimes you just need to ground yourself and just be with yourself. And that could be in silence. And sometimes we don't get to have silence as much as we want to. Life is happening, we have distractions happening.
Mhm.
People are calling, the
That's
phones are
true.
going, and things are happening. But I still get to breathe. I still get to experience some type of peace. It does not mean that just because I got distracted, I can't go back into my meditation. That's an illusion.
There you go.
That is me
I'd
going
like
further
to
away from
interject.
myself. Go ahead.
I would like to interject. I see you have green and you have red. I wanted to just say that our frequency is on the same level because I have my green candle that's lit, and I have my red candles that is lit. It's right here. It's right behind
Oh,
me. It's the,
see?
the red and the green.
Okay.
And I just when you started bringing those colors out, I just got a sensation, and I'm like, if these energies are not connecting, there's
Mhm.
something great here. And so
Something's
I'm
moving.
hoping that this energy can transcend into everyone that's watching and listening.
Right.
Awesome. I'm through, Lily. Go ahead. That is beautiful.
That's cool. All right. So I am just wiping my fingers a little bit. So the part that is interesting, more interesting about you doing the painting is that I see something right in the middle or whatever, and as I'm painting, it's going to change. And also, it changes a lot more, especially when we turn it. So I'm gonna flip the painting because I'm flipping the thought, I'm flipping the perception, and then it becomes something else. This even looks like something like screaming and reaching their hand up, like yeah, like yeah, and that's okay. So some people are like, "Ooh, your paintings look scary sometimes." So I look scary sometimes. Like my energy feels scary sometimes. And it's just what I'm seeing. It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing or a negative thing. It's my thoughts to it, my attachment to it that makes it what I think that it is. But this could just be someone singing from the depths of themselves, you know. Don't forget to sing. Don't forget to, that's one in blue, speak your truth. So we will add some blue. Communication, emotion.
Hmm.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, let's bring that energy up, right? We bring it up.
Amazing.
Flip it around again.
Wow.
That's a whole different thing and something else.
So I heard you say Tina introduced you to the intuitive part of your painting. So who has been your biggest influence?
My biggest influence, like and like influencer, like people, or what do you mean? What do you mean? Excuse me.
Your biggest, right, your biggest influence, actually it can be a twofold. It could be your biggest influencer, and then it could be your biggest influencer. So either way you choose to address that.
Oh, influences. I don't know how to answer that question. I'm gonna be honest with you. Influencers, currently are Will Smith. If that's who I had to say. I
Okay.
love Will Smith and Jada. I love the Red Sable. I love their whole spiritual practice. I love what they're doing. Um, those are my influencers right now. That's but other than I don't know.
What,
I don't really and I don't okay, so I'm gonna say something about myself. I have this thing. So, like, let's say with celebrities or things that you would think that I would know, I'm not attached to. So, when I meet someone, it's genuinely going to be, I have no clue who you are. You look very familiar, and I have no stories attached to you. So, I don't really have those other than like, there's been teachers like uh, Eckhart Tolle, Don Jose Ruiz, from like the Four Agreements, like things like that, but nothing too serious. Um, I know I like Maya Angelou. Like I know I like her. I have not read all her poems or things like that, but I know I feel her energy is deep. So
yes.
I don't know how to explain it. It's a feeling. I don't.
And that's good. And
I think
that's
it might
good.
just be a feeling.
And that's
Vibe.
good
It's
because,
vibe.
and of course, when you were talking, yeah, I'm sorry, Lily.
I said it's like a vibe. That's what it is. It's more of a vibe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
The vibe
yeah.
influences
Well,
me.
that's it. Yeah, and I think the vibe is the biggest thing, and I think the fact that you mentioned about uh, the lifestyle of what Jada and Will stand for, their spiritual practice, I think that would answer equate to the influences, because there's something that drives you in with each of us. There's
What
always something that
what
drives
drives
us to
me
do
is
what we
the
do.
suffering that's there, the suffering that is there, and everyone
Mm,
drives me. And sometimes the suffering in myself makes me not drive myself. Sometimes I'm on delay, and then I snap out of it, and then I'm doing more painting. Or, like I said, when I'm painting, it is not typically just happiness and joy. Like there's something going
yeah,
on.
yeah,
And it lines up sometimes with things in the world that are going on, and I can't explain it. Like I
yeah,
just things just happen. So it is definitely a feeling and of the suffering that's there. Sometimes I find myself frustrated with the world. I get frustrated with like our inconsistencies, and we get distracted with, like we're talking about what you're wearing, what you got, da da da. When really it's what are you dealing with when you're going to sleep? Why do you look like that? I remember that look. That looks like some type of sadness. Are you okay? That's what the compassion is so needed, and it's missing. And you can see it in all of the situations where we cannot get along with just simple tasks or just simple asks, just simplicity. We it's just we can't do it simply. So
yes,
that hurts me. So I simply paint. I'll just paint and flip and talk and hold space with people that want to hear it, and if you don't, that's fine. Like it's just my tribe will come, the tribe will show up.
yes.
So we flip
Yeah.
it again.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
And there's something in the flip. It's
Mhm.
what you did say, it changes the perception. There is definitely something in the flip. I love it because
Mhm.
I know you're not finished, or are you?
It's just a feeling. It's
And
just a
you know
feeling.
what? And when I see to this point, there at one angle, it looks like there's a war between what I want, what I feel, what I think. And then when you flip it to the other direction, there is the white just kind of resonates as the cloud of personification, a cloud of
Like clear,
of
like clearing.
awakening, so to speak. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like washing away the
Interesting.
fears, kind
So
of soothing the fear.
yeah, awesome. That is absolutely real. It's real. It's real.
It's real. I don't
Because
know how to
life is
explain it.
real.
It just is.
Hmm.
There's a big isness to it, and I won't ever like claim it like da 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 da. Like I own, it's like this is a gift. I didn't do it. I just showed up and do it like this. I didn't create it. That's for sure. But, but it comes through in my own way. Like it's a unique thing, I'm sure. Like it's mine in a certain way, but anybody can paint. Flip it again.
So did you have to come to appreciate this gift once you recognized it, or did it have to grow on you?
I just did it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the energy of the people when I was like doing private sessions and stuff. Um, it didn't grow on me. It was just like I was growing with it. Like we just evolved together, me and the art.
Okay,
Yeah. There was that painting that was
wonderful.
behind here of myself. I show you. It was like my second painting I did. And it was in high school and I didn't want to paint. My teacher said paint. I was like, I don't want to paint. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't do that. That's weird. I was a drawer. Like I felt like that's what I did. And then I did it and I was pretty good at it. So I appreciate it. I see an E and an M there. So it must be good.
Absolutely amazing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So when I pull it back, it's gonna look
So,
so different too. It's gonna have a whole different look.
oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was your question? Go ahead. Excuse me.
My question was, we were gonna talk about your work and how would you say or comment is about your work in the social media network, politically, because you mentioned earlier about how the world and how there's so many differences about
Mhm.
how you feel about the world. So with your art, what has been the comment from social media or with social media and political issues that your art
Um,
can address?
so I don't really have political friends. Most of my people are doing more, they're doing the spiritual work and the way, and just the people that I see, or at least what I see, their post is not political. Um, I am like, I don't know if I really know how to answer that question. I don't. How does my art
Well, we
help?
know social media is such, yeah, I would
I
say,
get
how
positive
social
feedback.
media
I've never had
can
anything
be
negative.
seen as,
Oops, I think we're on a delay. We're having a delay. Um, I've never
I
have
think
had
so.
anything negative come from it. No one's ever said anything negative. I'm sure that eventually someone will, because there's always a perspective. But that's what the teaching is to flip it and change it, and like nobody's right and nobody's wrong. Still, even when you say something, something, something about this, it's still not right, and it's still not wrong. So let's get that clear.
So talk about your sessions. What goes into a session with Lele the painter?
Well, we'll have like a
How does that look?
conversation more so. Well, okay, there it can. I am radically in the flow. Okay, so can I tell you that your session will be? Excuse me, let me get a drink here. Mm.
Sure.
That your session will be just like this? No, but I will paint. And if you have something to say, we start a conversation. And typically we flip something that's not serving you. So it could be just like a repetitive thought or a repetitive, like
Mm,
it's
okay.
we flip the the self-limiting doubts or thoughts or stories while we paint. And we talk about that. And then sometimes I paint with people. They'll paint with me and they'll start flipping their own painting. And, it evolves. It just opens up as it happens.
So what about someone that may be hearing you and viewing this interview that's not local, is there anything available for an online session? What does that look like if it does?
Yeah, so we could do that on Facebook Messenger video chat. We can do a Zoom session. Typically it's 75 and you pay for shipping if you want the painting. So that's, yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. And we do like, I'll do like, I think like 11 by 16 typically on a flat board type of canvas. So someone wants a session, just message me, Lele the Painter on all platforms. So
Awesome. Very good. Very good. And that is amazing that you can continue to develop your career. And that was my next question. How have you developed your career, and especially during the pandemic? When
right
did you
now,
start, and how have you been able to?
I'm just in spiritual community. So shout out to Sacred Energy Empowerment Center, Murray, Utah, because that's important. Janet is the owner there, and I was doing paint sessions, just my younger self, just doing them at the shop. When Tina told me about it, she was a practitioner there, and it just went from there. And now it's really more of like it's more of a feeling. I'll do events and like paint at booths and do like a 20-minute session and things like that. But now it's like I have this platform, and doing things like that, like this is, it feels like more people are able to experience it, more people are able to see it, more people are able to shift. So I have a big I wish and I want and I pray and I hope to help on a bigger platform, maybe in a stadium of some sort or under the tree with Oprah. I don't know. Like, I just want to help.
Oh, wow.
I want to,
Yeah,
I want
that's
to,
fun.
I want to put it out there, So I hope that answers your question. Sometimes I get going, I just be dreaming,
Oh, yeah. No, you're good. You're absolutely good. No, you're good, because that's it. Because I basically want to see what all was in your career, how it evolved, how you were able to continue it through the pandemic with so much protocol and this and that, and then being able to truly generate from that, from the on-site and face-to-face person to an online presentation. And that works really, really well. I mean, that is extremely wonderful. So you're
Right now
right.
I'm doing TikTok more so. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Okay.
What were you about to say?
No, you're good. TikTok.
Yep, that's what I'm doing now. So Lele the Painter on TikTok. And I'm starting to do like side-by-side paintings. The ones you saw on the wall are some people that I have painted for just online. And yeah, I'm excited about that, to start growing through the TikTok avenue.
So do you sell your paintings online?
Not currently, but I'm not like opposed to someone saying, hey, I want to buy that. How much? And let's go. Of course, you can buy the painting, or I can send you a print. I am thinking about doing a website. I have not developed a website, only because I told you, I don't like that feeling of constraints. I really want to flow. I want someone to say, I want to print, I make the print. I want someone to say, I want to buy that. They buy it. I want to keep it simple. I want to do that non-traditional Buddhist thing. I just want to keep it simple. I say, tell me what you need.
Cool. So with the painting that you just placed in the back, okay, so if you were to sell that, what would be the value of that?
If I were to sell this one right here, right now, I don't have a value for it, because this is an energy. Me and you had a discussion. I would probably send it to you because we did it together. So.
Well, I will graciously accept.
Right. And then, of course,
wonderful. And what I
wants.
want to do is, I see that there are paintings.
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Excuse me?
I didn't hear you. There was a delay.
Okay, hold on. And once again, there is a delay. Let's see if we can talk through the delay because you have some great stuff here. I want to be able to show the prints that you have on the wall. I
Oh.
want the audience to see the prints you have on the wall. And
Oh.
so at any point, right, and because I'm loving the prints that I'm seeing. And so if is there any are there any prints you would like to bring in focus? People can get a more generalized idea of how it is that you flow through your paintings. And perhaps once they may see something they like and can inbox Lele the Painter.
Inbox Lele the Painter.
Wow.
So if I were to do a
Oh,
print, I'd say $60. 60 for a print.
okay. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
I'm gonna give a
Show us
shout out.
another one.
I'm gonna actually give a shout out to Brooklyn Tay. She's on TikTok. This is actually her painting that I did for her. I have a video on there. She's actually a mukbang. How do you say mukbang? What people that eat on social media. She is
Okay.
Brooklyn Tay with no O's. I'll bring another one. This is Lou's painting.
Oh, wow. Okay, very good. I like it because you see so much in it. I like the fact that you said it's all in the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the feeling. Yeah. Okay.
This one looks like you're about to go through.
Very good.
Going in somewhere. Like, where are you going?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the forest. Absolutely. Or something. And
wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, so it's just an idea.
So wonderful. Oh no, that's beautiful because I was wondering how it is that you were able to price your work. How do you see the value? How can people expound on an opportunity to get a piece of Lele the Painter's work?
Right. Absolutely. And I'm going to put this out here because I think it's important from my perspective. And a lot of, people say, don't devalue yourself. Don't blah, 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 blah. It's about you knowing your worth. But I do have that part of myself that someone out there, if you cannot afford it, and it's just like, but I really, really like what you do. Or I just want to ask me a question. You can inbox me. You can ask me. We can still talk. I am not about, oh, you got money or no, you can talk to me, like I don't have that because it is the energy. And maybe someone out there really needs my assistance. And you can give, we tied 10, I can give 10%. Right.
I love that. And with that being said, talk about the mindfulness part of how it is that you operate in your work. We talked off camera about mindfulness. Can you please elaborate on that? Because I think that's very, very important.
What, on mindfulness? I mean, that's a big question, but I would say mindfulness is really just being aware of, okay, I'm overthinking, I'm having a lot of thinking, there's a lot, I got all this going on, but I can look at the tree outside, I can take a breath in, I can bring myself back to myself, I can not say that terrible thing to someone that I always say, I can try to be more mindful of my speech or what I'm, or how I'm just overthinking. If I'm overthinking, I can bring that in with just a little self-awareness.
Yeah. Okay, great. And as we know, art is an extension of many, many creativities. And I know that you paint. And is there anything else that you do with your intuitiveness? Do you?
I do free verse poetry. I do reiki, which is energy work. I do on the spot, just mindfulness practice where, we just have a conscious conversation and we sit down or we walk or we something like we move energy. I would say I am an in the moment coach. So if you need something, say something and tell me what it is so we can get to the point, So let's get to the point. We don't have to dance around it. Like everybody got something going on. I think that's pretty much.
That's great advice.
Mhm.
That's great advice because I think we've spent so much time being at a point to where we've had to be structured, rigid, and contained inside. We've lost a lot of who we are. And I like what you are sharing so that people can feel comfortable breaking out of that box, breaking out of the
That
norm, quote
domestication.
unquote, so to speak. Yes, yes, yes. And because you're not really free to be who you really are if you're still stuck in that rut. And so I'm liking what I'm hearing you say and what you do and how it is that you do it, because there are a lot of people. And if you're out there listening to this broadcast, as if this may be a pre-recorded interview, but as you are hearing the interview now, type in the comments, text in the post in the response section what you want from Lele. If you have a question, if you want to seek her, she says you can inbox her on either one of her platforms. But if you're listening to this interview and as it is pre-recorded, feel
Right.
free to leave an inbox. Feel free to drop a post, drop a comment, and Lele will get it and she will respond to you.
Right. And
So
what you think
feel
about the
free to
painting,
flow.
right? What you see, what are your feelings? What is your,
Exactly,
what's your
exactly.
practice? What's your,
You want
what
to
you
bring,
doing?
yeah,
It's only
yes,
practice.
yes,
There is
yes.
no
And if you
perfection.
could
It
just
is only
bring
a
back,
practice. It's only a practice.
I like that. It's ironic that you said that. I wrote a piece this morning, and in that piece, I I titled, "My perfect time is my purpose
Mhm.
place."
Mhm.
And a lot of times we search for perfection. We wait to do something when we've perfected it. But I've come to realize that our perfect time is our purpose time, what we are purposed to do, what feels good. And that's the perfect time. And it's interesting that you said that, because waiting around for the perfect time, you're going to miss out. You miss a lot and lot. So, wow, that's kudos. Very good. Very good. Very good. My. So, what else do you want us to know, Miss Lele the Painter? Talk to us some more.
Oh,
What else do
I'm,
we need to know? What can we learn from this?
what can we learn? I mean, we learned a lot. I think that was a lot. We learned a lot today.
Yeah,
One thing that
yeah,
I've noticed is that we'll keep searching and reaching, and I don't think there's anything wrong with continuously educating ourselves, but there has to be a moment where you start to put the certain items in your spiritual toolbox that you're just going to use. Like, okay, I know in the morning that when I drink tea, I have a better day at work. Or I know in the morning if I just take that 15 minutes before my kids get up, that does a whole lot for my day. Like, so what is your tools? What are you going to put in your little toolbox? And it's private. You don't tell everybody, oh, I did this. And da, da, da. We always want to announce everything we learned. And then we jump on that learning or that
yes.
teaching. And then we're on the next one. We scroll to the
Yeah,
next page. Like, it's like, hold on. Drink the
absolutely.
tea.
Yeah,
Just
you're
drink the
absolutely right.
tea. Practice number one. So, yeah.
Good, good. So I heard you say you want to one day want to do some work at a stadium or under an
I want to
oak
paint.
tree.
I
But
want to paint in
talk to us.
schools. I want to paint in schools on, big canvases and talk to the kids and flip it around and talk about perception and maybe help with some, of the topics that teachers want to talk about, or I don't know. I just want to show up for the youth. Also, I I want to paint for any and everyone, to be honest with you. I want to just be there. I don't even have to be on the camera. I can be over there just private. Like I can be over there. Look, we could be on, you guys could be on the camera and I'd be over there painting. That's what I want to do. You don't even see me, but I'm over there moving the energy, painting the energy. I want to just share it. I want to share. That's what I want to do. I want to share
Wow.
and heal. That's what I want to do. I want to heal my own stuff while I share it with others, because I have a whole life to. to.
But- well, I hear you say you want to heal your own life as you share, and I think healing comes in healing the journey itself. The journey is a twofold thing, you know, and I can appreciate you for what you're saying, because that's the aim of some lifetime coaching. We want to ditch the myth that if you use a life, you use a coach, that means you are incompetent or lazy. No, that's not what we mean at all. What it means to us here at Chance of a Lifetime Coaching is you have a partner to walk with you on your journey, and we journey together because we're all at a place to where we're making the better part of our life better than where we were just 10 minutes ago. So
Right.
I would like to hear you say that you like the fact of healing and sharing. And so speak to someone this evening who may be going through, and I before I mention about their darkest times, but just speak to someone this evening about an opportunity to chat with Lele the Painter, an opportunity to connect with Lele the Painter, an opportunity to get the most out of Lele the Painter.
Oh, okay. Like I said, right now my focus is TikTok. So I go on live. I would say please follow me on TikTok and catch me live, because I'm talking late at night. I'm diving into whatever topics or conversations. And again, like you said, you can just message or put a comment down there below and we'll just go from there. Like there's nothing, it is not serious and it is not hard to get a hold of me. It is just saying, you know what, I think I could benefit from a session with Lele, or just talking to her for a few minutes. I'm going to just reach out. It's just go towards yourself, and if going towards yourself is coming towards me, then let's do that. Let's meet in the middle. Let's meet in the middle. So show up. Just
wonderful.
Do it. Just show up.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard you said that there's really no, you don't just lock in prices. But what if someone wanted to say, Lele, I want you to come speak my class, or Lele, I want you to do an online session with my class, you to speak to my women's group. I want you to do
circumstances.
That's how circumstances. Would that look? What would that look like for someone?
It would be situational, to be honest. We talk about it, see what the group, what is it exactly, kind of break down what the goals are and what we want to do. And I would price from there. If I'm doing live paintings, it's typically 150 to 200 because I'm painting on this huge canvas for people live. If it's for addiction, if it's for a nursing home, that's more heart-based work. And I'm not going to say, oh, da, 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 da. It might be travel. Okay, pay for my travel and I'll come and I'll paint for everyone, and you know, feed me. That's fine. Give me somewhere to sleep, like, and I'll come paint for where, I don't care where you want me to come. France. All right. Like, that's pretty much it. Let's flow. Like, it doesn't have to be hard. It just to be clear. I am currently not saying this is it, because not everyone fits in the same box or needs the same thing. So if it is to help some teenagers and there is a $25 budget, I'm more than likely going to come do it because we're helping the youth. Like let's just be honest and we'll go from there. Like, right. Well, now, am I saying somebody want to say, how about $10,000? You can write me a $10,000 check. Go ahead. That's fine too. I'm open to both.
Absolutely amazing. So, great. So when I hear you about all of this. So there's really no reason for
Anyone to
someone
hesitate.
to become highly engaged in a great project. Yes, yes, that is amazing. So one of the things that I wanted to kind of touch on too, you talk about your spiritual life, you talk about how it is that you are flowing your energies, and you talk about your family of artists and people that have been your influencers along the way. Talk about your family life. Talk about what that looks like, and how does that impact your artistic work at all?
That is a very big question. Okay, how does that impact me? So currently, I'm in a relationship with a woman, and we've been together for almost 10 years. Okay, so that has been a journey. It has been a journey in itself. Just is it accepted? Is it not accepted? Is it when you're younger? But now it doesn't. That doesn't even matter. We're old. Everybody's older now. So going through one, being in a relationship and dealing with a stepchild that has mental health has been a journey. Oh my goodness. I say that that this part has been the mission. Like God said, okay, you're going down here and doing this because Jordan needs you. I'm like, whoa, like it's oh man, it has been something, but it pushes you more towards your practice. As far as like my biological family, what are we as close as I would like for us to be? No, because we all have our lives and we're miles and miles apart. But we have a lot of love for each other, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna say on that. It's
That
been
is
a journey.
wonderful. That
It's
is
been a journey.
absolutely amazing.
Mhm. So be
But
mindful.
that's amazing. Because, and I say it's amazing because for you to be able to create such wonderful art and be able to bring who you are in a way of, and as you said, sometimes people don't understand, appreciate, or be willing to respect who we are, whether we're heterosexual, whether we're in same-sex relationships.
Mhm.
The main thing is that we respect, appreciate, and love people where they are. And
Yeah.
humanity is the main thing that should be the evolution of the world. I think we were created out of the hands of God, who gave us everything that we need to live by. And everything that is beyond that, that's a whole platform, it's a whole lot of dialogue that can go in
Right.
between that. And I
Right.
think if everyone could just take the moment to appreciate everyone for who they are, for what they have to offer, and once again, without criticism or judgment, because everybody is purposed. And once again, that perfect time is your purpose time. So what
Mhm.
it is that you find purpose in, you make that perfect for you.
Right.
And I can appreciate you for being totally transparent, and being able to be free and able to expound on that, because there's somebody else out there that needed to hear you say that today, because forbid they may need, and they're dealing with a decision they have to make, whether they're dealing with an illness or a disease, whether they're dealing with just battles of things that are going on with everyday life. I am sure that today's session has been a very good confident booster, so that a person can be one step closer
Mhm.
to becoming the better you that they are.
Right.
Yeah,
More authentic self. They're more
absolutely.
their self. It's
Yes.
one thing that I think about sometimes is who would I be had I not been told who to be? So if I were, I don't even know if that would be impossible to be born without without someone else's stories as a dialogue and how to navigate my life. Like how would I be? Would I laugh different? Would I walk different? Like, well, you know, there would be so many differences, but someone has to teach you. And I get that. But I also just wonder, like, what? I'm trying to be the best version of myself, but I still have all the influences of the whole world in my coming into my mind or into my brain. But without all of that dialogue, who would I be? Like, what would it feel like?
Mhm.
What would that feel like? I don't know.
That's the place.
Mhm.
That's the place, Lele, that everyone should be. Because if everyone could be at that place of just being who we are
Mhm.
and appreciating that,
Mhm.
our world would be in a better place.
Mhm.
But I think our world is in the place that it is because of and I'm careful to choose my words, but I think the world is in the place that it is. It's because of others not being willing to let everyone be everyone without taking, hiding, stealing
Mhm.
away from it. And I'm just trying to be really, really relaxed in how I choose to make that phrase.
I get what you mean. I get that.
Yeah,
Um,
we're all still trying to get through.
we are, and it's interesting because it's like we're trying to get somewhere other than where we are right now. We keep trying to go past here, and it's really about what am I thinking now? How am I feeling now? How do the people directly around me? How are we right here? Okay, so we are cool kind of right here. Then when they are out, they should be cool with, you know, it's just kind of like a ripple effect. You hope to, what your vibe attract your tribe. So you hope to get more of that feeling. People are just human. If we could just understand that, like if we could say, man, you know what, you're just human. I'm just human. There's nothing else other than that. Be your human self. I'll be my human self. Just don't be mean, mad, rude, you know, or just try to be kind and compassionate. Go drive fast. That's your business. Go ahead. I'm not going to have anxiety about you driving fast. Go do it. Like if that's how you want to be. And
That's it.
I don't want to, I don't even want to know that type of thinking where I can be attached to what you're doing wrong and why I think it's wrong. Go do it. That's your business. And I'm not saying do wrong things.
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. Lily say go do bad things. You heard what you know what I mean. Like
Yes.
rewind. Now we can rewind this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel you. I totally understand you. And it goes back to what resonates with me. I'll take it. If it doesn't, I'll just let it roll on. Bye-bye. I'll see you. And just let that be. This has been an exciting time. I've learned so much about Lele the Painter. I've learned so much about flowing in the now. I've learned so much about totally being free to be me. And I trust that everyone that has had an opportunity to listen tonight has had a new awakening of who they are, where they're going, and how they can change their journey.
And it's
Is that
okay to
what
be
is the last word that you would have to say?
it is okay to be who you are and where you are right now, because there's no other place that you are. You're only where you are. Like right now, you're listening to me say that, you're only where you are. So that's fine. It's okay. And then you'll be somewhere else. You will be somewhere else. There is this saying, one, it's none of my business what people think of me. That's one of the things that I live by. One thing I said when I was in like ninth grade is my mouth is my business. So if you don't want people talking about your business, don't talk about your business. It comes from your dialogue. If you're the one sharing it and they're putting a twist and the spin on it, your mouth is your business. And also, I like the saying, I've thrived through 100% of my worst days. So everything that you've been through, everything that's been bad, everything that is bad, you still made it through all of it, 100%. You may look at you, even if you're going through it, when it's over or better, you've made it through 100% of that. So I encourage you to stay encouraged and to remember that we're going through these filters and sometimes it can hurt and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it can really hurt, but you're going to come back through it again. We always come back through. It always changes. So we flip it around, look at it a different way. We're going to be okay. Not great. We may not be great, but we will be okay. Accepting the radical okayness.
Awesome. Awesome.
Radical okayness of now. How about that? Accept the radical okayness of now.
I like that. Accept the radical okayness of now.
Why not?
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna say okay. I'm gonna start saying okay. Why? I'm accepting the radical okayness of now. They're gonna be like, da, 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 da. You're gonna be like, okay. Don't attach. You don't have to hop on that complain train. You don't gotta jump on there with them. You don't have to do that. You just say, okay. You ain't mad?
Okay.
No, I'm okay. No, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm not mad, but I'm okay.
That is absolutely amazing. And I think that with that, it's a great place to put this little disclaimer in. And you talked about Maya Angelou. She's my favorite poet.
Okay.
And she says, if you're always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be.
Mm-hmm.
Let that sink in.
Right. That's a good one.
If you're always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. So thanks to Lele the Painter for sharing with us.
Oh, let me show you something. Look, that's where my canvases live. What would that say?
Okay.
It say be amazing. It's backwards.
Wow. Be amazing. The energy just keeps going. Our frequency just keeps elevating. And one of my favorite things is elevated to excellence. And so we are elevating to excellence on tonight. I love the painting. I just can't wait to get it. I'm going to put it in my office. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. And I love it. And I want you to be able to look. I want everybody that's tuned in tonight, I want you to look into the painting again. And I want you to put in the post, what does this painting mean to you? What is it saying to you? What jumps out at you? What is it causing you to think? What is it causing you to feel? Right. Look at it.
I got a quote I like by Maya Angelou. When people show you who they are, believe them. So I have a poem that has a little piece of that, and I added to it. When people show you who they are, believe them. When you try to change them, you deceive them because they're not lying to you. They're telling the truth. And your denial is what bothers you. I can say this in so many different ways, but I believe if I take up a little bit of space and if I say these words right, that may make sense. Positivity is it. All I'm telling you is you got to believe in it. Then it goes and goes and goes. But that Maya Angelou part, yeah. Yeah. I like that. Let's go.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Conversation number one. This was a good first conversation, cousin.
Hey, many more, because we got a lot to share. There's a lot to do, and who knows where we may be again. You'll see Lele the Painter again, and if you're interested in Lele the Painter, Lele, give us your platforms again. Tell them how they can find you.
Lele the Painter on TikTok, Lele the Painter on Instagram, Lele Energy Artist on Facebook. And that's pretty much it. We can start there, or right down there in the comments, you can say, hey, message me. So yeah.
Okay. Is that L-E-L? Is that capital L, little E, capital L, little E, or is it just
however, as long as it says L-E-L-E, you'll be able to pull it up. So L-E-L-E, the painter.
Okay. Okay. Lele the Painter, thank you so much. It's been a great joy. It has been really, really exhilarating to be able to flow freely. It's been a very good interview. You've been so transparent and knowledgeable, and you've shared your expertise with the world. And we say thank you from Chance of a Lifetime Coaching.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Namaste.
All right, peace and blessings. Namaste. And once again, everybody, Lele the Painter, check her out. Leave us a post. Let us know what that painting looks like to you.
What you see.
And be amazing.
Be amazing.